Let's talk about passive income. I know. All of you think that passive income is you just sitting somewhere in the beach or in the house doing nothing and money is just trickling in your account. This is going to be a very brutal and honest video. I'm going to burst that bubble that most of you think that passive means doing nothing. That is not what it means. Especially when it comes to business and making money, you're about to be disappointed. Most people perceive passive or passiveness, especially when it comes to making money, as just sitting idly and money trickles into your account. Let me give you a quick example for us to understand this clearly. Let's say I have a car and I buy 1000 liters worth of fuel. Maybe that is fuel that can take me a whole 6 months without ever having to step in a petrol station. Does it mean from now up to the 6 months that I will not be buying fuel from a petrol station? I'll be getting that fuel for free? No, it doesn't mean that, but it will mean that I will have made my work easier of already having stocked that fuel so that I don't have to make a trip to the petrol station every time I need what? I need the fuel. You get me? Did I spend money on the fuel? Yes. What I'm trying to mean is that your passive income will be worth or will be equivalent to the amount of resources, including time and effort, that you are willing to put in creating that extra stream of what you're calling passive income. You see, when you buy that fuel and you keep it close to you, it becomes more accessible and it saves you a lot of time for you to just fuel your car. Does it mean that you didn't put an effort to have that end result? If you want to start a passive income, as you say, you have to put in all that effort, time, resources, and whatever have you into creating your passive income model or business or whatever it is that you're creating. What I'm trying to say is that if you put more of your time and resources into your passive income, you're putting more leverage into it. And this is why I don't call it passive income. Because it didn't just come out of thin air. You had to leverage something for you to make that extra income while you're putting minimal effort into it. If truly the amount of spare time that you have in a day is, let's say, 3 hours, and you only put 1 hour, and then it takes you, let's say, 1 week or 1 month, and maybe you create only one product, do you think that the returns will be that much? Not really. But what if now you maybe in your day job, you work faster so that you finish your work, and now the 3 hours that you had are now 5 hours, and you take longer to create your passive income model or product, and you don't rush it, and then you create a good product or multiple products? Don't you think that that is going to earn you more money compared to the former? You get where I'm going with this? Let me be blunt. You have to put some effort into everything. As much as you want to call it passive, I'm breaking that bubble today. I'm popping it. There's no such thing as no effort income. I know you want me to take you into the businesses right now and give you a quick solution, one fits all, but I have to give you this information first. Because if I don't give you this information, you're going to mess everything. So I have to start you from the basics so that by the time I give you the businesses that I know can work as leveraged income, you already have the basics and you're not going to mess it up and you're going to build it. In fact, you're going to build it so much that it might end up even overtaking your other forms of income. Trust me, by the end of this video, you will have learned more than school would have taught you. So stay tuned, pay attention. What types of leverage do you need for you to have leveraged income? First of all, systems. I'll give you a quick example. We all know that YouTubing, whatever I'm doing right now, it's a form of passive income, right? But there have to be systems that contribute to me putting out content out there, including subscribers, video editing, equipment. Those are just examples of systems. The second leverage that you need is team. I'll give you an example again with content creation and YouTubing. Let's be honest, not all of us are good at editing videos. Not all of us are good at storytelling. Actually, I struggle with storytelling. Sometimes I get lost when I'm trying to make a video and I'm trying to make it flow. Therefore, you might need someone to write a script for you. It could be ChatGPT. I don't know. Whatever it is. If it was someone who was to write that script for you, you would have to pay that person. So you need to know how to work ChatGPT and other tools that you might use in your script writing. You might not be good at video editing. You will need someone to edit the video for you. The third leverage is networking. Based on this example, networking for a content creator would be subscribers, friends who share links, sites like maybe Facebook, where you can post your link, X, formerly known as Twitter, where you can post your link, you can have friends share, and all these things. You have your WhatsApp group, your communities on WhatsApp and Facebook, where you can share the link to your videos. That is networking. The second thing that you need to do to now actually blow up your leveraged income is to apply the leverages to the skill. Going back to our example again, now you have taught yourself how to speak loudly and in an articulate manner in front of a camera, how to edit, how to storytell, how to write your scripts and whatever. Now everything has to come together and to create this product which is going to be earning you passive income. This is the part where you come up with a video idea, you script it in such a way that your storytelling is appealing and captivating to your audience, then you shoot or record that video, then you edit that video in such a way that it will give you the correct retention, the correct seriality, everything that is needed. Then you get to create a thumbnail, which means you have to learn again how to create a thumbnail, which is another skill because that is photo editing. A thumbnail that will be attractive, that will drive through the roof your click-through rates, therefore coming up with this one complete final product that is appealing to the audience such that you will get the views, the watch time, and everything else that you need to have your channel monetized and start earning from AdSense. Now you tell me, after all that work, somebody just comes and tells you, oh, you're just making money from YouTube by doing nothing, just sitting idly, just making videos, sitting in front of a camera. What will you tell that person? Now you get it. There's no such thing as passive income. It's more of leveraged income. You leveraged the skill that you learned for you to make this video, for that video to give you these views and subscribers and watch time, so that you can make money from AdSense and affiliate marketing and all other ways that you can make money from such content on whatever platform that you post your content on. Now that we have all the basics out of the way, now let's talk about ideas or businesses that can get you passive income or leveraged income, as we now know is the true meaning and name of what it is, while you basically seem to do nothing. I'm going to be very specific with these ideas because I want to be as impactful as possible. Therefore, I'm going to speak on ideas that are much more practical to be done in my country, which is Kenya. Before we start with the first idea, kindly just subscribe to this channel. I'm like 200 subscribers away from 1,000 subscribers. I really need this. I'm also trying to build my passive income business right here, yo. You know what I'm saying? Dream kutoka kwa block my G's. So let's support each other. Let's dive into these sources of income. The first one being digital or online income. This one is now split into 5 other forms. Let's start with selling digital products. What are digital products? Most of us Kenyans do not know what digital products are, but I'll give you a good example. I know most of us, we have come across those guys who sell PDF or ebooks at 30 Kenya shillings per ebook or 50 Kenya shillings per ebook. There was a time it was a very lucrative business. The only problem with that is that it was all piracy. Maybe it is not illegal in our country, but it's not morally right. You get me? So for example, if I have a book I have written and I share it as an PDF file, that is me selling a digital product. So let's talk about the types of digital products. The first one is online courses. I'll give you a simple example. In this YouTube channel, I have a video where I explain how to make 2,600 a day from a gaming arcade. Now, if I wanted, I could have made it a 5-minute video whereby I explain the basics, and then at the end of that video I would be like, if you want to learn more, inbox me or join a full course that I have on how to make the 2,600 Kenya shillings per day. And then I would charge an amount for me to be able to send you the complete series of videos on how to set up a gaming arcade, how to handle customers, how to handle the law, how to deal with the licensing and all those other issues, so that at the end of the day you could be able to make the 2,600 Kenya shillings I was talking about. Now you get. So if I sell that online course, that's a digital product. The second form of digital product that can be sold are ebooks. And on this I'm going to talk about 3 places where you can sell ebooks. You can sell your ebooks on Amazon KDP and you can sell your ebooks on Google Books. The only problem with this is that mostly us Kenyans, especially the young people, we could spend 6 hours a day on X throwing banters at each other, but we can't even spend a 1-hour session to articulate our thoughts and put them down on paper. You could literally create an ebook on why Ruto must go right now. That is the hottest thing. You could create an ebook about anything, how you are struggling as a young person. If you can manage to put down an A4 sized 100 pages If you convert that into an oversize, that is almost 200, 250, and that is a good enough ebook for you to sell. But the problem with Kenyans, we are too lazy. We want the easy way out. We just want to go to PDF drive, download other people's books, and then sell them illegally at 30 Kenya shillings. But if you had your book, you upload it on Amazon KDP, you upload it on Google Books, you will be making your passive income. And the good thing about this is that if you have a book, it is very free to create an account on all these 3 platforms. It is free for you to upload that book. When a customer places an order, the platform which takes care of the printing of the book, takes care of the shipping, and then whatever remains after they deduct all the cost that was involved is sent to you as royalty. You are making money literally out of nothing, and once you post a book there, it could be selling for forever. So you will be making that passive income for forever without you even having had to spend a cent or any extra time on that book. But remember the systems that we spoke about earlier. The system is about you creating a very nice and a very sellable ebook. You have to do that. You can't be lazy and broke at the same time. The other way you can sell digital products is through creating templates. By now, I know most of us have used Canva. When you go to Canva, there is a free version and there is a paid version. So if there is a paid version template that you are going to use, you have to pay for the pro version of Canva. So whenever you use that template, the creator of the template gets some royalties. That is how they make their own passive income. If you can find a way to upload your templates to Canva or to reach out to other websites such as Canva, then it is good for you, because every time someone will be using your template, you will be getting money. Another thing that you can do through digital passive income is YouTubing, whatever I'm doing right now. Although there is a catch. For you to start YouTubing, let's say you've been monetized. How do you make money from YouTube? There is around 4 to 5 ways. The first way is through AdSense. Whenever a video plays on YouTube, it might start with an advert, or somewhere in between the video, there could pop up an advert. That is AdSense. So the companies that are running those adverts on your video pay YouTube. Then YouTube pays you a commission for the revenue that they have received. That's AdSense. The second one is affiliate marketing. Have you ever watched a YouTube video and then the creator refers you to a link of a product that maybe they are using, or they are in the video description box? So when you go to the description box, you find a link, and mostly if you buy something via that link, you get a discount. So that's affiliate marketing. When you buy something via that link, the creator will be paid a commission depending on the number of traffic and sales that he has converted through his video. So you could capitalize on that, and that would be passive. The third way you can make money through YouTube is through sponsorships. For example, the company that made this microphone would want me to showcase this microphone and the specs this microphone has. So they will pay me, for me, first of all, to use this microphone, and for me to mention that I use this microphone in recording my videos, especially if my content is around content creation and production. Because if my channel is a successful YouTube channel that people come to for this kind of advice, and I tell them I use this microphone, they will now also want to use this microphone because they will believe it will make their production and their content better, and the company will pay me for just doing that. The other way you can also make money on YouTube is by selling courses bado. Remember the courses we talked about earlier? You could create a community or a Patreon, I think it's called a Patreon, where they could get access to exclusive content that you put out on your YouTube channel that anyone who has not yet joined your community or subscribed to your Patreon will not get access to. Another way you can make money via YouTube is through super thanks stickers. There are stickers that you can place at the bottom of your video, so that if somebody finds value in your video, they can just click on a sticker and you earn the amount that has been put on that sticker. You could have several stickers, like one for $1, $4, $5, $10. The other way you can make some passive income digitally, and this one is quite a technical one, but it's via creating apps and websites. Just from the top of my head, let's think of this idea. I am a vet and I am having a lot of issues, and also my friends are having a lot of issues accessing, let's say, farmers around the country or the area I live in. So I could come up with this idea of creating either an app or a website. On this app, I could link farmers to vets and to agrovets. I would charge vets to register onto the platform, I would charge agrovets to register onto the platform, and I would charge the farmers to register on the platform. So if a farmer maybe has livestock that has a disease, they can describe the disease on the app, they can take photos of affected parts of the livestock, and they could even take videos and upload all that onto the app. On the other end, the vet would be able to look at the videos, pictures, and read the descriptions of the symptoms that livestock is suffering from. And then that vet can be able to recommend a treatment plan and drugs that are needed. The farmer will pay the vet for the consultation. After the vet recommending the treatment plan, obviously there will be drugs involved. The drugs can be bought from the enlisted agrovets in the app. The agrovets will then make sales of the drugs to the farmers. Now, from this idea alone, how many streams of incomes have I created in it? First of all, registration from the farmers, from the agrovets, and from the vets. Fourthly, I will get a commission from every consultancy fees that has been paid by the farmer to the vet. Fifthly, for every drug sales that the agrovets make to the farmer, I can charge a commission from that. So from just that simple idea, I have created about 5 to 6 other sources of passive income from just one idea alone. The fourth way in which you can make digital or online passive income is via blogging and affiliate marketing. Let's say, for example, on X, you have a large following, like 200,000 followers. Companies will definitely approach you for you to endorse their product. Just like with the example I gave about the microphone. There's also another way of going about this. If you have a huge following, let's say on X, you go and identify other people who have also a huge following, but not as big as yours. And then you organize them as a team under you. So when you go to brands to negotiate for endorsements, you at least have a portfolio where you tell them, I alone, I have 200,000 followers. I have a team of around 50 other bloggers who combined have 1 million followers, giving you a total of 1.2 million reach. This way you can even negotiate for higher price for you to post their products on your blogs, on your accounts, and what have you. These things are all about thinking outside the box. The problem with us Kenyans, we are just lazy. We are waiting to graduate and for the government to give us all the jobs that we need. First of all, there are no jobs to be given by the government. Secondly, you can't be lazy and broke at the same time. Choose one. The second way in which you can gain some really good passive income is through flipping websites. I'm comfortable using examples, so allow me to use another example. You could go buy a .ke domain, .co.ke domain, and .com domain. Then you could make them a rutomustgo.ke, .com, .co.ke domain. Very soon we are going to have the Finance Bill 2026. So you could buy a domain name of Reject Finance Bill 2026.co.ke, .com domains. Okia Omtata and David Maraga are running for presidency, okay? So you could also buy a domain okia.ke, okia.co.ke, okiaomtata.com, maragaokia.co.ke, and all those other things. I hope you're getting my flow. You just have to think. You just have to be wise about it. So many activists are going to come up very soon because we are nearing a season of elections and so many things happen in this country during that season. You could already pre-register at endabductionske.co.ke, .com.ke domains. And as sure as the sun will rise tomorrow, there will be some group somewhere, some international group that will want that domain to run their campaigns on. So you just need to think outside the box and get this. A .co or a .co.ke domain right now costs between 600 and 2,000. A .com domain right now costs around 2,500 to 3,000. You can buy very many of these domains at a very cheap price. Then you can flip them later. I'm imagining if these commercial activists come to me and I have a certain domain, let's say for example, endabductionske.com, and they want to buy that domain. These people are loaded. I will charge easily 200,000 Kenya shillings for a domain that I bought at 1,000 Kenya shillings. And they will pay it, because if they don't pay it, where else are they going to get that domain name? And that is the domain name that is going to help them push their agenda. If a presidential candidate wants that domain name and I already have it, I can easily charge 1 million Kenya shilling, especially if it's Wamunyoro. I could have like a www.wamunyoro.co.ke domain. Maybe they would want to use that one and it comes to me easily. 1 million Kenya shillings for a domain that I bought at 600 Kenya shillings. You get? This is passive income. You actually didn't do anything. You just invested your 600 Kenya shillings and it pays you 200 to 1 million Kenya shillings. Kenyans, let's use our heads. It's not always about social media activism and social media ranting. The third way of creating passive income or leveraged income, as I've already taught you guys, is through automated e-commerce. On this one, I have 2 ideas that I will share with you. One you already know, one you probably don't know. Let's start with the one you know. Vending machines. I know. In Kenya and in Africa, we don't have those vending machines where you go, you insert some money and it gives you candy, or it gives you a can of Coke or Pepsi or whatever. Those things in Africa and Kenya mostly, they are not so common. But we have water vending machines and cooking oil vending machines. Now, I will discourage you from going the cooking oil vending machine route, because getting cheap cooking oil to use in vending machines, because vending machines, at least in Kenya, are supposed to give you cheaper products than what you can get in the shop. Therefore, if it's a cooking oil vending machine, you need to have a connect in a cooking oil company who will give you access to cheaper, mostly illegal and substandard cooking oil for you to use for your vending machines. That is the only complication with cooking oil vending machines. I know people will argue about it, but this is the fact. If you have been on the ground long enough, you know this is how it goes. Same with the milk vending machines. It is very hard for you to get good milk to sell at a cheaper price than the normal price in the shops. We already know that the milk in the shops is already bad quality. Then you need to sell even cheaper quality. It means you'll have to dilute your milk even further for you to be able to sell it cheaper. Therefore, I'm dissuading you from the milk vending machine also. But by all means, I'm encouraging everybody to do the water vending machines business. That is a very good business. I have a friend of mine. She sells 1,000 liters per day on the worst day. She sells 1 liter at 10 Kenya shillings. 10 shillings times 1,000 liters is 10,000 Kenya shillings per day. She has employed someone who oversees the running of that specific station for the day. She pays that person 500 per day. This friend of mine has 3 stations, one in Isinya, one in Birika, and one in Ngong. Therefore, she's making 30,000 Kenya shillings per day from just selling drinking water. The only thing that you need are the licenses and the vending machine and the person who is overseeing your business, because this is Kenya. You can't just leave your vending machine there and go, because people will steal it and go break it and get the coins that people have inserted. And sometimes you don't even need that vending machine where you have to insert coins, a complicated thing. You can just have a locally fabricated one where the person who is overseeing the business can just be manually refilling the water into people's bottles or containers or whatever it is that they have come to refill their waters with. The good thing about this business is that you are capable of providing cheaper product than the one in the shops and in the supermarket without compromising on quality. In this business, you don't have to go look for customers. The customers will come look for you. The only thing that you just need to do is set up shop, and that's it. And your passive income will be there. Remember, I told you there's nothing as 100% passive income. You still need to maintain the equipment there, the machines there. You need to do the accounting and all that kind of stuff. So such a thing as passive does not exist. The other way you can make money through e-commerce is through PODs, or printing on demand. For now, I could only advocate for one, and that is Amazon Print on Demand. How does it work? You create a design to be put on a clothing item. You upload it on the Amazon Print on Demand website. They put it on a clothing item. Then they list it on their e-commerce platform. When a customer is interested, the customer pays the full amount. Amazon Print on Demand will then go ahead and print that clothing item and send it to the customer. They will then deduct all the expenses from the production to the delivery of that clothing item, and then they will send you the rest of the money. During my research, I found out that most people on this business, they make around $4 to $10 per clothing item. Now, let's assume on the worst case scenario, and you have several designs, like 20 to 30 designs uploaded there, and you're selling only 10 clothing items in a day, making $4 per clothing item. It means in a day you're making $40. In a month you're making $1,200. If you convert it into Kenyan money, that's 154,000 Kenya shillings per month. Can you imagine that? Just like that. This is the world we live in, people. Just sitting, doing literally nothing. The fourth way to get some really good money from passive income is investing in service-based businesses. People say that I like to talk about the gaming arcade industry, so let's put that aside for a second. Let's talk about cyber cafes. You know, cyber cafe is a service-based business where you get to print people's documents, where people just come, they sit in front of a terminal, they browse the internet all they want, and then they pay you for that. You even have a master program that is monitoring whatever every person is browsing and the amount of time they are spending on each terminal and the amount of money they're supposed to pay at the end of their sessions. All that you require for this business is like 10 computers, which go for around 100,000. Then you need the business permit, then you need the rent and 1 employee. And that's it. You even actually don't have to print anything. You could be the kind of cyber cafe that just people come to browse, and that's it. But if you can get an employee who can do some type settings and is familiar with printing and all that, you get even to get more income. Now, the only problem with this business, especially on the online services sector, it is hard for you to know how many jobs your employee has done. Let's say, for example, renewing driving licenses and producing KRA pins and such. But it doesn't matter. You should employ someone who you trust. And even if they are are not as honest as they want to be. The master program you have for monitoring how many minutes and how much money people pay on browsing alone, that is enough income for you. You don't have to be there. You can have even 10 cyber cafes in 10 different towns, and you could just be waiting for your money at the end of the day. Minimum returns 2,000 Kenya shillings per cyber cafe, and that is assuming that is the worst day possible. I know cyber cafes that make 10,000 Kenya shillings in a day, especially those ones that are in the CBD. Those people make good money. So you can even have this. These are service-based businesses. In my own industry of business, I just need to set up the gaming consoles and the screens and an employee, and that's it. I will just come every evening to collect just my money. Passive income. You don't even need to be there. Let's also consider service-based businesses. There's this mentality that we have that for a business to be a good passive income business, you have to invest a lot of money. You have to invest about $1 million in it, and then it could be just giving you like 20,000 per month. No, you could invest 100,000 in it, and it could be giving you 100,000 per month as passive income. We just have to think outside the box a little bit. Now let's go to the final two models of making money passively. First of all, let's go to land and rent-based income. You could have some money and you don't know what to do with some money, and then an opportunity to buy land in a CBD somewhere arises. You could buy that land and hold it. With the way things are in Kenya right now, if I buy land today at 1 million Kenya shillings, next year at a time like now, that same piece of land will be selling at around 2.5 to 3 million Kenya shillings. Do you see the profit margin there? So you could be buying land, holding for appreciation, and then selling. You could not be getting monthly income from that land, but in the long run, it will be worth even more than the monthly income that you could be getting through other means if you had to use that land to do other type of businesses. The second thing you can do with land is rent it. If you have idle land, especially in the CBDs, for example, just an example, you could build a parking zone in that land and charge vehicles to park there. All that you need to do is fence it well, install security cameras, and then employ 2 to 3 guys to look after people's cars. The only other final thing you need to do is maybe charge either the same rate or even cheaper than the municipality. Even if you charge just slightly more, I'm telling you, that parking space will always be full to the brim each and every day. In fact, people will even be booking slots for the next day or the next whole week. So just think outside the box and do this. It is not cast in stone that if you have land, you have to build a whole 4 or 5 story building there. No, you can do many other things. Also, if you have idle land, you could rent that land to companies that like to build greenhouses. You could even lease that land to Kenya Power Lightning Company. These people pay you good money at the end of the month for them to build those transmission lines on that land. Somebody could also want to set up a greenhouse in your land. That land has been idle, it's not bringing you any income, you don't intend on selling it, so what are you doing with it? Very simple. You lease them the land, you rent them the land. Every end month, they'll be paying you some money. If somebody wants to set up that greenhouse, you know that if something is planted, it might take 3 to 6 months to get harvested. So you don't negotiate the terms for rent in monthly basis, no. You negotiate in like half a year basis, because it might be along the way and the crop is not doing well and the guy might decide to pack and go, and he has only been there for 2 or 3 months, you see. But if you have like a contract for a year or 2 years, or at least seasons, 3-4 seasons, even if they decide to pack and go, they will still pay you for the full time that you had agreed on. Akili mtu wangu. While still on rental income, some people have built very nice apartments, very nice studio apartments on very prime areas and posh areas, but the occupancy of those houses is below 20%, at best 30%. What do? Convert them to Airbnbs. You charge per stay, per weekend, per day. By the way, you don't even have to convert it into a BNB. Just convert it into a lodging. Ile usharati na hapa in Kenya ni mingi sana. People love lodgings. I know for a fact that the lodgings around here are always fully booked. Sometimes my friends come to visit and they need a place to sleep, and we go around lodging hunting, and it is really hard to get one that is free. Especially past 7 p.m. You can literally never get a lodging. These are things that you need to think out of the box. You don't have to be told everything. And the sixth and final passive income model that I would like us to talk about is the investment-based income. This includes money market funds, government bills and bonds, shareholding, buys of shares, and dividends from SACCOs and such. Personally, I am not really good at these things, so I will just mention them and leave them at that. But I have my guy, Good Joseph. Good Joseph really explains these things well. Check out his YouTube channel, please. Subscribe also to his YouTube channel. He's so good at explaining the money market funds, the stocks, the dividends, and what have you. Personally, I don't see the sense in it. Why would I invest 50,000 Kenya shillings only to get 250 as interest after 4 to 6 months? Doesn't make sense to me. That being said, that's it for me. Kindly subscribe to this channel, like and share the link to this video. By the way, this video is part of the 30 videos that I want to release in a 30-day period, releasing a video each and every day. Wish me the best, wish me luck. Just subscribe. All I ask is that you subscribe. Thank you for watching. Wakanda forever.